which is made up of Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. Um, what do they have in common? All gained independence after the World War II. There was an external language colonies after this, which means that they began developing and evolving their language based on their experiences. So, as they had significant economic, cultural, um, and social changes, the language changed, even though the three of them took different paths. So, Malaysian national identity, they tried to recover their their language. So even though they were using English because they understood it was a tool to communicate with others, they were trying to rebuild that identity. And they thought that part of rebuilding that was recognizing their local language as their first language. Singapore, in the other side, decided that English will continue being essential in their formation, and they define that it will be the medium of education. Indonesia uh, appointed English as the new nation's first foreign language. So, as you see, there were three different decisions made by these three colonies. And this let us know that English contributes to the acceleration of national development by making modern knowledge accessible. So they don't need to begin uh, from nothing because there are many people that already began something. So this provides them with ideas about how to begin again. And also, English facilitate the communication of the countries among them. It's important to understand the variations, so I brought some examples. Do you know what is Kanai? Well, for me, it was almost impossible to understand what this means, and I think, well, I used to think that I knew how to speak in English. Well, it means to take away. It's when you're asking someone to take away something from your uh, table, especially when you're in a restaurant. Then we have why like that one. You may wonder why the auxiliary is not there, and even though it was there, it would be difficult to understand. Well, this expression is used to make others know that you're uncomfortable because of something. You were expecting a result, but you get another thing. So it's a way to express that you were mad. It is very jam now. Well, this was a difficult one, but then I understood the relation. They're talking about the traffic jam. And last one, see first, see how. It's almost kind of confusing, but then you understand that this means we will see what happens. So if someone asks you something, in Malaysia they could answer or reply to your question as see first, see how, and now you know how to answer or what does it mean if they say that. In Singapore, they have something called Singlish, which was created by Malay English, Mandarin, Hokkien, Teochew, and Tamil. So it's a mixture of several languages, and these um, lead us with this variety. So I brought other examples. Here they used to simplify English. So, for example, instead of saying yes, of course, that shouldn't be a problem, they just answer can. Or instead of saying, I have checked with those necessary and I can assure you without doubt that what you have asked for is impossible, is replaced by confirm cannot one. They're usually using one, and it does not have a specific meaning, but it's like a word they use just because. And then we have I strongly disagree. Instead of saying this, they say no la. So this help us understand what those variations means in terms of what would happen if a first language um, speaker goes there and try to communicate. He will not understand. Then we have Indonesian that they say that they have Inglonesian, and there is some variations in terms of grammar. They randomly add or subtract yes. So instead of saying congratulations, uh, they said congratulations. Or instead of saying thank you, they said thanks you. They never use the third person present tense. So instead of saying she looks very sad, they said she looked very sad. And there's an interchangeable use of the relative pronouns who and which. So a book who, a person which, instead of a book which or a person who. Well, until now we have make an overview about what word Englishes mean and what happened with post-colonial Englishes. But Snyder provides us with a model that will allow us to understand better how the evolution occurred. He proposed 5 phases, so we're going to be talking about them. But first, I'm going to name them. We have the foundation, the exonormative stabilization, the nativization, the endonormative stabilization, and the differentiation.